Yeah, so beautiful. So, can you describe the pain of Crohn's disease 1 through 10? 10 being excruciating pain.
Like 7 right now.
7. And what did the doctor say once you were diagnosed? What was the cause? Stress. And what is the name of the medication he prescribed to you? Humira. And how often do you have to take it?
Every other week.
For how long?
For the rest of my life.
Wow, he got you there. So don't you think that that is their job, to sell medication for the rest of the patient's life?
Well, I've tried many different medications, and out of all the ones that I have tried, this is the best one that has worked.
Did he ever advocate a plant-based diet?
Nope.
Did he ever
yes, they have. I've had different...
A plant-based diet?
Yeah.
And why haven't you took his advice?
I have. I don't need that much meat, Josh.
Listen, but that is the cause. Low fiber. So you need high fiber. Crohn's be gone. How about that?
Not high fiber.
Yeah.
Because high fiber is going to make me shit more.
But listen, if I show you an interview, are you willing to see it?
Yes.
It's only 1 hour. You haven't seen this one.
I'm not going to see it right now.
I know, but when you come back, and he's going to tell you the cause of Crohn's disease. But you have to stick with it. This is not no 2 weeks and you're cured.
I know that.
It's going to take a while.
For 13 years. Don't you think?
Wow, 13 years of pain. So, if you think you go vegan for 6 months.
No, because there's some vegetables that give me gas, that give me pain.
Well, you don't eat those vegetables. You eat other vegetables.
The majority of veggies do that.
What about potatoes?
Yeah, I can eat potatoes. I can eat a
what
lot
about
of
beans?
Carbohydrates, and I'll be like 300 pounds.
No, you won't.
Yeah.
You saying carbs make you fat?
I'm saying if you eat majority of carbs and not vegetables and fruits and all that other stuff, yes, it will get you fat.
What about...
But if you do a balance between all the food groups, then it won't. And
but,
I do. Josh, I don't feel like this all the time.
Okay. Don't you think the fat you eat is the fat you wear?
I don't hardly eat fat.
You don't?
Fucking, I'm 140 pounds.
140 pounds, but don't you think meat, oil, and dairy is high in fat?
Yeah.
Then?
It is fat.
Then?
Okay, do I eat a lot of that?
Of course you do.
I do.
You don't eat a lot of it, I know, but you still eat it, and that is the cause of the Crohn's disease.
And I changed my milk to soy.
And?
Still. This morning,
Still, but you still, this morning, I don't know what you had, but last...
harina.
Yeah, that's great. That's great you haven't wheat.
With soy.
But what you had last night? Some chicken.
Chicken broth.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't see no broth, but I saw that chicken with some carrots. And
chicken broth. I took out the chicken from the bone, and I took the juice, and that's what I ate with some crackers.
But what about the chicken on...
I didn't eat it.
You didn't eat it. You just want the flavor of the chicken.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the end.
Bowel disorders, you have some luck with those?
Oh, yes. I would say that this is the best kind of dietary program for all colon problems. Diverticulosis, spastic colon, ileitis, Crohn's disease, spastic colon, ulcerative colitis, hemorrhoids, fantastic results. And this tragedy of all those diseases is that they treat them with a low-fiber diet, which causes the disease.
Lower intestinal problems are quite common also and caused by dairy products, such as bloody stools, painful defecation, constipation, as I talked to you about, colitis, Crohn's disease, and ulcerative colitis have all been associated with dairy product consumption.
And Crohn's disease hasn't yet been reported in East or Central Africa.
If you were going to advise people to eat the healthiest diet possible, how would they make that meal plan?
Well, I reckon that there would be 5 major changes. I don't think anybody in this country basically is short of vitamins. There might be an odd one, but a lot of people in America eat vitamin tablets. I've never eaten a vitamin tablet in my life. The basic change, number 1, the 2 most important ones, would be to eat far more fiber. The average American eats 15 grams a day. Our ancestors used to eat over 100. In much of the third world, they eat over 100. The first thing would be to eat more fiber. The second thing would be to eat far more starch. Now, people are afraid of starch. They think starch is fattening. It's never fattening. More bread, more potatoes, more pasta, all those starchy foods, and more fiber and more starch. Then far less fat. I think that might almost come top of the list. We eat 45% of our total energy as fat, and it's nearly all saturated animal fat. If we could cut down our fat by going, say, shall we say, on the semi-skimmed milk, vegetable margarines rather than butter, abolish fried food as far as possible, and something which we've only recently recognized is that meat grown on the farm in our country or yours has 7 times as much fat on the carcass as wild meat, and 5 times as much of that fat is the more dangerous saturated fat. So if you were eating wild meat, venison or what have you, I don't think it would do any harm to your health, or not much. But farm meat is far too heavy in fat. And I'm not a vegetarian, but we only buy red meat about once every 3 weeks. We eat fish and fowl because it's far better from a health point of view. The oil in it is far better. And I think it would be, I don't think anyone should ever eat meat twice a day. Lots of people eat meat for lunch and supper. We never eat meat twice a day. So we don't eat meat every day. We never eat meat twice a day. And we cut down enormously on the red meat. So the major things, more fiber, less fat, would be top of the list. The other thing is cut down on the salt and the sugar. We eat 5 times as much salt as people who don't get any rise of blood pressure throughout their lives, communities.
You know, you're talking about a vegetarian diet. Now, say we consider the ideal diet a vegetarian diet. Can you think of any reasons to add meat to that diet?
No need to.
How about dairy products? Any reason to add dairy products to the diet?
Well, some people would say that if you add dairy products, you'll have your vitamin B12, you're less likely to get pernicious anemia. See, there are relatively few in England vegans. There's a lot of vegetarians, but very few vegans. I don't think a vegetarian diet is a healthy diet. I wouldn't be authoritative to talk on the diet with no milk or eggs, but certainly a vegetarian diet can be a very, very healthy diet. It's been the diet of most of the Japanese throughout history, and they have the longest life expectancy of any country in the world.
So you don't consider calcium an issue as far as dairy products?
No, because communities who don't drink milk at all after childhood suffer almost not at all from osteoporosis in old age.
What do you think, Austin?
I like not eating meat. Go vegan. I gotta go vegan. I gotta go vegan. Hang on, is this a new Stevie Wonder classic? Go vegan. I'm about to go